Hey guys, what's up? It's Kermaras, and welcome to your Taiwan Wanai Trio quest guide for the 2007 servers. For this quest, we need a small fishing net, a pestle mortar, a spear that is steel or better. Now keep in mind that you will lose this spear, and it can't be a black spear or a bone spear. A agility potion 4. It's recommended to bring a super anti-poison 4. That will do you. Bring one, don't forget it. Joger bones. Around 10,000 coins. You really only need 30, but as always, per normal, bring like 10,000 on quest. A tinderbox, a knife, 2 stamina potions will do you for the quest. It's going to speed things up, but you don't need it. Having a lunar staff or a Draymond staff for fairy ring teleports, pretty much absolutely essential for this guide because I will be using fairy rings in it. If you do not have access to them, start Fairy Tale Part 2 and get access. It's going to save you so much time in the future, and it'll be on your account forever. However, if you really don't want to do Fairy Tale Part 2, if you don't want to start it, go to another guide. This is not the guide for you. And finally, we're going to need some raw Quarabong, however you pronounce that. You do have a chance that you will burn these depending on your cooking level. I'm going to bring 4 just in case. You need to cook 1. But if you are level 65 fishing, there's a spot that you'll be able to fish them at. Also, having teleports to get you somewhere as close to a fairy ring. Like for me, I have a teleport to Varrock, and I've completed the Easy Diary 2, or one like the Medium Diary or something, and I can use the Grand Exchange teleport, so that's going to help me out. Also, if you have a Slayer ring, there's a quick, basically, teleport to a fairy ring on that thing, as you probably know if you have one. If you don't, a Ring of Dueling will get you to Castle Wars, which has a bank pretty close, and from there you can get teleports to other places. Alright, so for the start of this quest, we actually don't need all these items. We're going to need some room, so you can go ahead and deposit them all. Alright, so we're going to want to go ahead and get out a small fishing net, a anti-poison, a teleport to a fairy ring, some sort of staff like a Luna or a Draymond, and a stamina potion. It's going to be helpful. Now I should also mention, for this quest, you're going to need some sort of long range attack, so range or magic. I'm going to be using range. We'll need to get that out later. Because we do need to kill a monkey to get its carcass. So now we need to head down to start this quest to a guy called Tim something. He has a funny name, and he's over in Taiwan Wanai, just up this staircase here of this house. So go ahead and find a means to get there. Personally, I'm going to use the fairy ring code CKR, as you can see here, and then I'm going to run north to Taiwan Wanai. Okay, so we are here at the quest start. Get yourself here, and once you're here, climb up the ladder of this building. Then talk to Tim, who is inside, and pick any of the options here, it doesn't matter. Then on the second option, say that Trividus sent you, which is the third option. And then there's going to be a moment of silence, and then he'll talk to you again. And say that his gratitude is all that you deserve. And then say yes. Now go ahead and climb down the ladder. If you check your quest guide, the quest should now be started. We need to go ahead and run north until we hit Brimhaven. Now, once you get here to this spot with the fishing symbol, talk to the hunchback guy and pick the third option asking, "Who are you?" Then speak to him again. Talk about Carb 1 and run through the options. After you have talked to him about the Carb 1, talk to him about and ask him who he is. Pick the first option. Talk to him, ask him, where are you from? Basically, we need to run through all of these options. It's kind of a pain. Eventually, you'll be able to say, you sound like you could do with the help. Once you get through that option, we'll be able to continue with the quest. If you check your quest guide, it will let you know, and it'll look like this. Okay, so you remember that spot where the fairy ring is, CKR? This fishing spot that is just to the north of it, we need to go to. I'm going to use my Varrock teleport and then run a little bit west to get to a fairy ring. Take whatever means that you can to get there, and I will meet you there. Make sure also that your inventory has 22 slots free, as we're going to need them. We need to catch 22 of these fish. And for anyone wondering, I will say it again, CKR is the fairy ring code for this area. CKR. Once we're here, we just need to run north. And then this fishing spot here, go ahead and net it. Now we need to catch 22 of these raw Quambaijuani, however you pronounce that, fish. You can also catch shrimp here. If you do, just drop them. Go ahead and get 22 of these things. Perfect. Once you have your 22 or 23, however many you want to get really, but make sure you have 22 at least of these fish, go ahead and run north. We need to head back to that guy that is in Brimhaven. Go ahead and talk to him. You'll give him the fish. Then talk to him again. Ask him what he does with the crab one. Talk to him again and ask again. Pick the second option. Ask him, what do you do with your Cranbrin? He's going to think and say yes. He's going to give you a vessel. Go ahead and use it on one of these fishes, then drop it. Talk to him again. Tell him that you lost the vessel. Tell him that it was stolen, and he'll give you a second one. Go ahead and use a fish on it again and pick up the other one. Alright, so now we need to go to a bank, so use your Slayer Ring or your Ring of Dueling. I'm going to go to Castle Wars. Okay, so in the bank, we need to make sure that we have our small fishing net, our super anti-poison, our 2 vessels. Now we also need to get out a knife, some coins, 30 GP to be exact. Having teleports to a fairy ring is going to be helpful. Having a stamina potion on you will be good. Also, we need only one of these raw fish now. So make sure they have a raw fish on you, a small fishing net, a super anti-poison, the 2 vessels, 30 GP, a knife, a stamina potion, some teleports to go to the area, and also we need our Joger bones on us now as well. And take out your attack method. So if you're using, for example, range, bring out your range gear. If you're using magic, bring out your magic gear. Now we need to go to Karamja. And my apologies, we don't need the small fishing net anymore. Alright, so go to Karamja. I'm using my Amulet of Glory to get there. That's awkward. Once here, run south. Go ahead and trade Zambo here. And buy 1 Karamja rum. Then run to the banana plantation just north. And pick a banana off the banana tree and use your knife on it to slice it into sliced banana, and then, oops, don't eat it, use it on the Karamja rum. And that will get you Karamja rum with a banana floating in it. Now we can head back to the Fairy Ring teleport. This time we'll be using code DKQ. Sorry, DKP. DKP. We also don't need the knife anymore at this point. You can drop it if you want or bank it. DKP. Once here, just run a little bit east and talk to this guy. Say, is there anything that you can do to help? Then use one of the vessels on him. He's going to do a little fishing animation, and then he's going to talk to you. Run through the chat and then say yes. He'll give you a raw Karamban. Now we need to go ahead and head to a bank. Going to go to the one at Varrock. And we need to get a few items out of the bank here. So first off, make sure that you do have some teleports to get to the Fairy Ring. Then on top of that, make sure that you have your raw Karamban, your fish. We no longer need the knife. I have a couple arrows on me just for my AV accumulator. Make sure they have a attack method that is either range or a mage to kill a level 3 monkey. We're also going to need to get the rest of those raw Karambans out, totaling 5. Make sure that you have the rum on you, the anti-poison, the Joger bone, the vessel. We're also going to need to take out our spear now. A tinderbox, a pestle and mortar, and that should be good. And your agility potion, don't forget that. Your agility potion 4. Now, if you are a low level, if you're basically under 40 combat, bring some food just in case you get hit by the monsters there. If you're above that, they shouldn't aggro on you. Now we need to go use a fairy code teleport ring here. The code is CKR. We'll be using CKR. Okay, so now we need to run just a little bit southwest. Climb up the rocks. And then talk to the guy who's south on this little island here, Tensei. Then talk to him again. Then talk to him again and say yes. Okay, now we need to go ahead and cross back over this bridge. If you fall, that's okay. Go ahead and run north here. We need to go kill a monkey now. This is where your magic or range comes in hand. Now, you can kill these things by melee, but you won't get the corpse, so you need to do it by range or magic. Once you do that, it'll drop the monkey corpse. Go ahead and pick that up. Then run a little bit to the west here. Along this little shoreline, there will be some seaweed laying around. Go ahead and pick one of those up. Now we need to head to a mining spot, which is to the northeast. Careful, there's some things in this woods that can potentially poison you. Go ahead and talk to Taimonu. Run through the chat. Then talk to him again. Pick the third option, when will you succeed? And then say yes. It's going to go into a cutscene. Now we need to run west. Now we need to use our raw crembran on this fire until we manage to cook one. Once you are successful at cooking one of these, go ahead and use your pestle and mortar on it. Then use the Kwalwan paste on the spear. And then go ahead and use your pestle and mortar on the raw crembran fish to grind that as well. Now we need to go ahead and run east back to that NPC. Use the spear on him. And then use the agility potion on him. Careful not to drink it. Now we can talk to him and say, take me on the next hunt, option 3. And this time he'll be able to kill the lion. Now we can go ahead and talk to him again. And go ahead and use the monkey corpse on him. And we will get some leather back from it. Monkey skin, go ahead and use the monkey skin on the seaweed. That will get us a seaweed sandwich. Now go ahead and run southwest back to the isle. Then go ahead and talk to Tensei. Say yes. Okay, so now we need to head off this isle once more and go back to the Sacred Fires, which is just to the northeast. Hopefully you guys don't fail that bridge too much. Once you're back here, go ahead and use your tinderbox on your Joger bones. And then wait for them to turn into burnt bones. There they go, they're now burnt. Careful not to bury them. Go ahead and use them on the Quarabuana paste that we have. This will get you pasty Joger bones. Be careful not to bury them. Go ahead and use them on the fire here. This will get you marinated J bones. Careful not to bury them. Let's run back to that guy. Climb the rocks. Scour across the bridge. Hopefully you don't fail too much. Okay, so once you've made it over, go ahead and talk to him again. Say yes. It's going to do some stuff. Then he'll talk to you. Then we need to talk to him again. Go ahead and use the vessel on him. And after a moment, he will give you the instruction scrolls to make it the crafting manual. Let's head back to the fairy ring. This time we'll be using the code DKP. Go ahead and teleport. Then run a little bit east. And use the crafting manual on this guy. Let's go ahead and head back to the quest start to finish this quest up using the fairy ring code CKR. Then just run a little bit north. Climb up the ladder here. Talk to him. And say internal gratitude accepted. Now this XP from quest complete we don't actually have yet. We need to go talk to his sons to get it, that are in the village just to the south. They're in these 3 huts at the most south of the village here. This first guy will give you fishing XP. And we can now also trade him. He sells the fish and the vessels. Tensei in the middle. He's going to give you the cooking XP. And then finally, the last hut. This should be the attack and the other XP. Not sure what it is. If you're up here, watch ahead a little bit or something. Not sure if Pierce can do this quest. Alright, so he gives us attack and strength XP. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, love, peace, and chicken grease.